Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Shazrina binti Azli with metric number 253354. Today I will explain and talk about tender evaluation, or it's also called as a tender assessment. Tender evaluation or assessment can be defined. Each tender will be checked for compliance, and if it complains, the evaluated against the criteria specified in the tender documentation. The tender that offer best value for money will win the project or the business. It's also used to find the best contractor fit for the project. In this tender evaluation process have three stages that has been spread. They are first stage, second stage, and the last one is the third stage. For the first stage of tender evaluation process is a preparation need to be done by evaluator before start any tender evaluation process, such as prepare summary of tender in ascending order based on the tender table prepared by the tender opening committee and analyzed based on the cut-off pricing. The tender will be arranged in the ascending order to determine the lowest and the highest tender. Select list of tenderer to be evaluated. Check and fill up checklist of compulsory document. The evaluator will make sure all the compulsory documents are submitted will be analyzed based on the budget. And lastly, for the first stage of tender evaluations is carry out arithmetic checking. This arithmetic check on their tender will be made, and the number of error made could affect their final tender position. Next, we go to the second stage. The second stage is tender evaluation process is for compliance, analyze completeness of documents, financial analysis, and evaluation based on the performance of ongoing project. The tender submitted must comply with the prerequisite requirement. Only the tenderer which comply and perform any imperfection in terms of legal and contractual which may jeopardize their qualification. Tender must be supported with the documents such as a form of tender and CIDB or PKK registration. Failure to submit any of the form of tender may affect the ranking of the tenderer. Common mistake during filling form of tender also affect the evaluation. It is important that the form of tender is available correctly signed and all the blank spaces are correctly filled. Incomplete form will cause tender disqualified, such as a form of tender not signed on wrong form, contract period, and tender price not stated. The tender will be evaluated on the completeness of tenders such as a list quantity, addendum, schedule rate, design proposal, and construction period submitted. Financial capabilities of tenderer will be evaluated. A financial statement should also be submitted for evaluation. The financial statement should not be more than the 3 last month. This is important for the contractor to have a good financial record so that they could finance the project. Besides that, financial evaluation, that performance of current work or ongoing project also evaluated the criteria, such as evaluation made on ongoing project handled by the submitted tenderers. The ongoing project health should be below 30% of work schedule, and no termination record, such as the evaluation will based on the score determined by CIDB or GKR scale. And lastly is superintendent's project report. For the last stage in the tender evaluation process, for the third stage is financial capability equal to working capital per yearly project value. For the technical assessment will be based on 3, such as a working experience, technical staff, and plant or machineries. Let me explain one by one about the technical assessments. First is a working experience. Evaluation made on the past complete project, completely total work value plus 5 years, largest work value done in the past 5 years, and type of work is limited to recognize work comparable or similar. For the second is a technical staff. There are 3 categories of technical staff, and each is categories A, B, or C. Categories A refer to the architect, engineer, and quantity surveyor. For the categories B is a diploma holder, while the category C is the assistant technician in company. All the categories of technical staff must be employed by the employer during tendering because for contract staff, they have a contract agreement. And for the last one is a plant and machinery. Plant and machinery can be considered if function equivalence on or higher before closing of the tender dates. Useful life not exceeding 150 years, equipment on higher purchase basis covers the entire contract duration. So for the conclusions, once the tendering evaluation process is now completed, the evaluation will now be summarized into a report based on the evaluation process. The evaluator will now make a suggestion to the client. For the best tenderer to be nominated for the tender, it is now of the client to decide whether they want to nominate the suggested tenderer with the tender at the conclude the whole tender evaluations process.